Bertie Ahern and the president of the GA, Sean Kelly, and of course recently married Georgina is there with her dad this afternoon, all watching this All-Ulster semi-final. Tony Blake is giving the final few words. In there somewhere is Adrian Sweeney. And in amongst his colleagues, I'm sure, giving his final few words of advice is the captain, Kieran McGuinney. Tony Blake going back with his colleagues from the full back line down to the canal end. The scene is set for this semi-final, and the man in charge comes from Raheen's club in County Kildare, Michael Monahan. He refereed the Connacht final this year, and he also won a Leinster Senior Club football medal himself in 1982, the only provincial title won by a Kildare club. Armagh playing from left to right. The second of the Bank of Ireland All-Ireland football semi-finals underway. First free of the day is to Donegal. John Gilday trying to get it over towards Brendan Devaney. Won, however, by Enda McNulty. Francie Bellew is playing full back. McNulty has gone marking Brendan Devaney in a switch just after happening. Damien Diver on from his traditional left corner back position over to right corner back. John Gilday under a little bit of pressure here. Needs a little bit of support and help. It's there in the shape of Raymond Sweeney. Free to Donegal. John Gilday fires Damien Diver. Brian Roper seems to have moved out to the half-forward line. Paul McGrain is helping out his defence. This is Francie Bellew, who seems to have started at full-back. Oisín McConville, or rather Stephen McDonald, seemed to be pulled down there off the ball. He was pleading to the umpires down at the canal end. Meanwhile, it's Damien Diver, throw ball, easily intercepted by Tony McEntee, with number 15, but operating as a third midfielder come half-back. Kieran McGuinney trying to deliver a long ball, up fires McDonald. Niall McCready has taken up his marking position as a left corner back. So Niall McCready is on Stephen McDonald. Paul McGonigal, as anticipated, also doing a Tony McEntee, playing as a left half-back, or rather as a half-back, to be a little bit more specific. Oisín McConville. Down far as John McEntee. McConville on the overlap. Dropping this one in. Tony Blake underneath it. Gathers safely despite pressure from Stephen McDonald. The referee has blown his whistle. And Tony Blake and Stephen McDonald. Well done, Tony Blake. He just deflated what seemed to be a moment of, well, that could well overheat. This is the ball into Blake, gathered securely. McDonald arrived in. It was a challenge, and the referee had blown his whistle. But then just look at this. As they shoved, and it looked like things were getting out of control here. Keep an eye on Tony as we waltz down Croke Park. We love each other behind it all, and it's a free for Donegal. Here come Armagh again. Oisín McConville. Good block down by Shane Carr. Ronan Clark trying to come in. Referee has blown his whistle, and this is going to be a free for Armagh. First free of the afternoon for Armagh. Free taker going to be Oisín McConville. Scorer of a goal and 25 points in the championship campaign so far. He went on a scoring spree against Waterford with a goal in 7. First free of this semi-final for Oisín goes to the right and wide. Going back to the Tony Blake incident, Tony, certainly as we watch the replay here of the Shane Carr blockdown, but Tony Blake, he'll remember that Ulster final last year. That first ball was very important for him.
Yes, very important for him, and a nice moment as well in such serious circumstances.
Fine catch by John McEntee. Available inside is Ronan Clark. Coming through is Paul McGrain. Oisin McConville calling for 3 players, taking him up. Back to Ronan Clark, dropping this one in. Tony Blake. Confident play by him. How far is Kevin Cassidy? Michael Hegarty is back there as well. Damien Diver is now over on this side of the field, having earlier switched to the area in front of the Cusack stand. Michael Hegarty. Stephen McDermott. Back to the more experienced John Gilday. Retired at Christmas, came back in April, giving it up to his captain Adrian Sweeney. Loses possession. Kieran McGeeney to John McEntee. It's a long ball aimed at Stephen McDonald, who misjudges it. And Damien Diver will be happy to see this go over the end line.
As well, there's a break in play, Marty, just to explain some of the markings in that. In the McNulty and Francie Bellew are playing inside in the full back line for Armagh, marking Sweeney and Devaney. And sitting right in front of him is number 15, Tony McAtee. And Niall McCready and Raymond Sweeney are in the full back line, marking Diarmuid Marsden and Stephen MacDonald. And John Gilday is sitting in front of them.
Paul McGonigal won that ball cleanly. Going to be a sideline ball for Armagh. Oisin McConville opting to use Kieran McGeeney. Andrew McCann back to Oisin McConville. Crossfield ball over towards Stephen MacDonald. And Niall McCready just gets there ahead of his opponent. This switch was anticipated. McCready has had some great tussles with Oisin McConville and indeed Stephen MacDonald. Good work by Brian Roper. Supporting him, Christy Toy. Challenging is Philip Lockwood. Christie with the left foot. Is it going to squeeze in? The umpires consult, and we have the opening score. 6 minutes of play. Christy Toy from St. Michael's Dunfanaghy steadied himself here, looked at the goalposts and sent it straight over the bar. And noticeably, that was Donegal's first shot at goal. And it just squeezed inside the post. Hit off Christy Toy, picked up by Stephen MacDonald. The referee says MacDonald picked the ball off the ground. So this is going to be a free for Donegal. Damien Diver looking for a quick free. Not really an option. For some descent, there's an extra few meters, 13 meters in fact, as John Gilday. Brian Roper makes a run. Again, that ball hopping off the surface here. Good work by Michael Hegarty. Backfires Brian Roper. Tenacious defending by Armagh. Andrew McCann, there was a boot there from Michael Hegarty. Andrew McCann was fouled. Free to Armagh. Kieran McGeeney down towards John McEntee. The support plays from Aidan O'Rourke, from Drummond T, spreading it over towards the far corner, towards Diarmuid Marsden. Supporting him is Ronan Clark. Referee has blown his whistle, and it's going to be a free in for Armagh. Some heavy tackling here on Ronan Clark. It was a pull of the jersey. Referee correct to give the free to Armagh. Oisin McConville has worked very, very hard to get back to full fitness. Suffers from a prolapsed disc. Now back to his best. Can he level matters here? He can. Sides level after 8.5 minutes of play. Kick out by Tony Blake. Straight down the middle. Knocked away by Aidan O'Rourke to his colleague in the half-back line, Andrew McCann. Now plays his club football with Leixlip, County Kildare. Ronan Clark, down far Stephen McDonald. With him, as always, since the start, is Niall McCready. Low ball for Dermot Marsden. Raymond Sweeney trying to stay between him and the goalposts. Marsden with the cross. Over to Stephen McDonald. There's a chance here for Armagh. Paul McGrain. All-Ireland champions are in front for the first time. Kick out quickly taken. Niall McCready feeding Kevin Cassidy. Michael Hegarty beaten to it this time by Andrew McCann. John McEntee with possession. Good work by the centre-half forward, putting his opposite number under pressure. Andrew McCann playing it into Shane Carr. Kieran McGeeney coming into challenge. Backfires Damien Diver. Paul McGonigal is available to Diver to his right. Was going to use the long ball, easily blocked however. And Armagh have it once more. Ronan Clark looking at the options. John McEntee wanted it long. A ball for Tony Blake. Batting it down towards Barry Monahan. McEntee finished Tony Blake off as well. And Donegal come away with it. Shane Carr from the Four Masters Club in Donegal Town. You remember his goal-like clearance in Castlebar from Matthew Clancy, which could have given Galway victory. Referee Michael Monahan is now having a word with Ronan Clark, and he's giving the first yellow card of the afternoon to Ronan Clark.
Yes, I think Marty is laying down the law here, just saying we're not going to let anybody get away with those kind of petty fouls here today. I'm going to put my mark on the game and stamp out all these fouls.
Stephen McDermott giving a good ball over to the far side. Aidan Sweeney. McDermott wanted the quick ball to be taken, but Sweeney is going to cool matters down here. Brendan Devaney trying to get inside the challenge of Enda McNulty. McGeeney there to help out his fullback. Good defensive play. McNulty under pressure here from Michael Hegarty, who's doing a lot of hard work, particularly in a defensive mode rather than going forward. Here come Armagh once more. Dermot Marsden making a run. Couldn't control it. Kick out for Tony Blake.
Armagh's build-up is very, very good, especially for the last point there when we went into the corner to Marsden and he laid it across the front of the goal. But their kick passing is very, very good.
Joe Kernan in his second championship season. Fine catch by Kieran McGeeney. Nice ball inside to Oisin McConville. Steadying himself, having a lash, but unfortunately off target. Again, Donegal opting for this very quick kick out, and Damien Diver seems to be always the player available. Brian Roper laying it off. Here come Donegal now. Options available, right and left. Stephen McDermott is up there. Michael Hegarty is outside, so too is Brendan Devaney. With him is Enda McNulty. This is Brendan Devaney getting inside. They're combining beautifully. He's inside the large rectangle, outside to Sweeney. A point for Donegal. It required concentration and good combination play. Brendan Devaney here getting inside Enda McNulty, combining with Stephen McDermott. The chance was there momentarily, perhaps for a goal, but Sweeney blasted it high. Not a good ball for a forward for Dermot Marsden. Oh, fine catch though. Stephen McDonald, and this is going to be a free in for some jersey pulling. But that high ball should have been a defender's.
Yes, but Stephen McDonald is very, very good in the air, and it's the one weakness I see about the Donegal full back line. If you play orthodox ball into them along the ground, they're good, but a high ball in there, McDonald is so strong.
Oisin McConville with his second free, and that is going over the bar. 2 out of 2 for the Crossmaglen Rangers star. Armagh back in front. And this time Tony Blake changes the direction of his kick-outs. Stephen McDermott in his first championship season. Michael Hegarty from Kilcar. Under pressure, needs a little bit of support. Referee Michael Monahan indicated first Donegal, then he indicated Armagh. John McEntee aiming for Dermot Marsden. Stephen McDonald wants to deliver quickly, but the referee had blown his whistle, so it's going to be another free for Armagh.
That was a terrific one by Dermot Marsden again. By his body languages and his run, he told the player where to kick the ball, and first time they left it into him. And again, another yellow card by the referee.
Yellow card for the captain's brother, Raymond Sweeney. The familiar pose of Oisin McConville, who opts this time to take it from his hands. This is dropping right in under the crossbar. It's there for Armagh. It's on the goal line. He's brought down. There's a scrum in the small rectangle. The referee is going to try and sort this one out. Ronan Clark is the Armagh player. And Michael Monahan will have to assert his authority. This is just handbag stuff at the moment, but he's going to have to make a decision here. He is not, by the way, consulting with his umpires down at the can, and he's just going to throw it in.
Yes, I think there's a mirror image of what happened last year where Tony Blake batted the ball out and they followed in and knocked it into the back of the net. Didn't happen today, though.
Now he's going to have a word with his umpires. That's Kieran O'Donnell, the umpire from Raheen, just having a little whisper. This is Stephen McDonald, who picked up an injury there. As always, an opportunist, always in for rebounds. Any sort of a mistake by a defender or a goalkeeper will be snapped up by a chap called Stephen McDonald. John Gilday seems to have a hand problem. Referee Michael Monahan is coming across to tell the doctor, Austin Kennedy, that this is going to have to be taken care of along the sideline. It's going to be a throw ball in the 20-metre line. Two number 9s, McGrain and McDermott. But it's Donegal to come away with it. Good work by Kevin Cassidy. And still good. Supported by Stephen McDermott. Enda McDulty gets a touch, but the ball goes over the sideline. Michael Ryan, the linesman from Askeath in County Limerick, indicating it's a Donegal ball. John Gilday opts for the long ball this time. Plenty of Armagh defenders, but it comes to Paul McGonigal. Back outside, first Brian Roper. Survives one challenge. Steps into a good position and kicks it over the bar. It's his first of this All-Ireland Semi-Final. Brian Roper with a goal and 9 points through this championship campaign. Survived the lunge of Francie Bellew, steadied and shot straight over the crossbar.
Again, fantastic play by Donegal. When they play the hand-passing game, they're fine when they're going forward and driving on. What they shouldn't be is caught static, because Armagh will eat them up.
Donegal have scored all of their chances so far. Armagh, half blocked by Stephen McDermott. Rebounds to John McEntee. Under pressure from Barry Monahan. Andrew McCann lends assistance from left half back. Ronan Clark. Under pressure from, believe it or not, Brian Roper, corner forward. Good work again. Donegal are putting their heads down, concentrating and giving it their all. Damien Diver, left corner back, but he can play anywhere, as already proven. Getting into a good position is Christy Toy. Getting a touch for his Brendan Devaney, steadying himself, but misjudged this one. It's the first. The umpire in fact has signaled that it's going to be a 45. That's the first 45 of the day. This is the ball dropping in. Again, it was up there in the air. There seemed to be a touch. Seemed to rebound off Tony Blake, perhaps. And Stephen McDonald got injured, and so too was Ronan Clark.
But again, it was a high ball into the square. The full-back or the goalkeeper should have dealt with it more effectively than that. But Donegal are playing very well. They're full of energy and they're playing very positive football, and they haven't missed an opportunity yet to take a score. I think that last ball actually came off the crossbar.
Yeah, I think so too, Tony, in fact. Running repairs all over the pitch. There's Andy Mallon, and in the background Michael Hegarty of Donegal. But it is going to be a 45 for Donegal. Michael Hegarty giving it quickly. Brendan Devaney loses possession, goes back the second time. Plenty of Armagh defenders. Devaney coming through, but again just hit by a shoulder, loses possession, and it's going to be a free to Armagh. It's hard-hitting championship football.
All you want is a break in there, Marty. If you only got one break with the 4 balls going in there, the ball could be in the back of the net.
Paul Hearty, man who's won 3 All-Ireland club medals with Crossmaglen. John Gilday battling with Paul McGrain. Touched along the ground. Going to be a free for Donegal. Quickly taken, not really from the correct position. Referee allows the play to continue on. Brian Roper gets a touch in, trying to knock it back. There's Kevin Cassidy from Guido, county champions in Donegal for the first time in over 25 years. It's a poor ball, however, and Paul Hearty easily gathers. Paul McGrain from Ballyhagan makes himself available, so too Andrew McCann. As the players funnel back into defensive mode. It's a good ball over towards the Hogan stand. Stephen McDonald, this time beating Niall McCready. Aimed at Dermot Marsden. Back out to Oisin McConville, and that is just going to go to the right and wide. 5 wides for Armagh in the opening 22.5 minutes. In contrast, Donegal have yet to register a single wide. Terrible pass inside. Armagh regain possession. Paul McGrain. Far is Ronan Clark. Coming through the centre. John McEntee. Over to Stephen McDonald. Providing the overlap this side is Andy Mallon. Ronan Clark is in the middle. Back to McDonald. Hits it with the right. And it's going to go, in fact, to the right and wide.
Niall McCready isn't making it too easy for Stephen McDonald today. Every time he moves, he's like a shadow, and he's making it very difficult for him to break free.
Tony Blake, first choice goalkeeper since he made his debut against Cavan in 1998. This is Philip Lockwood. He's fouled and a free to Armagh. going to take this is centre forward John McEntee. Well capable of hitting this over the bar even from this angle and this distance. This one is curling to the left, however, and wide. An avid supporter for Armagh, of course, is Seamus Mallon, former footballer himself. Tony Blake, again aiming for that far over side. John Gilday, who may compensate for lack of inches with great passion, great heart. Brian Roper laying it off, a chance to test out Paul Hirty, easily gathered right in under his crossbar. Shot there by Barry Monahan. Armagh coming from a defensive position again. Andy Mallon, given a little bit of space, decides to step up a gear. Stephen McDonald, aiming for Oisin McConville, goes back to gather himself. Andrew McCann is available at the far side. Aidan O'Rourke looking at the options. Nobody really running for him. Everybody marked tightly. Paul McGrain steps inside the challenge of Stephen McDermott. This is Andy Mallon, corner back, sends it wide. He's been one of the stars actually, Tony, for this Armagh team, just 20 years of age from Pearse Oak.
Yeah, he's played very well all year, but Donegal are playing Armagh at their own game. They're playing 5 or 6 people behind the ball, and they're happy to let Armagh shoot from 50 yards out, because the inside forwards, when they run, the run is covered, so they have no option but to shoot. Paul McGonigal comes to knock this down to Kevin Cassidy. 3 Donegal players available. Michael Hegarty, probably just a little bit too fancy for Damien Dibber. Wins possession back himself. Paris Kevin Cassidy needs to change direction. Uses Paul McGonigal instead. Making a dash is Adrian Sweeney. Gets there ahead of Francie Bellew. Gone inside is Christy Toy. Sweeney, Bellew. Standing guard as Tony McEntee is back there to help out his defence. It's a good ball and Paul Hirty gets a touch, but the referee has blown his whistle and claims, in fact, that there was a late challenge. Not the fact that there was Brian Roper was being fouled, but there was a late challenge on Christy Toy, I think. So on Adrian Sweeney was the player who crossed the ball. So for that late challenge, from where it landed, which is inside the small rectangle, has to be taken on the 13-metre line. Driven over the bar. Brendan Devaney. It means now that of those 4 points, Donegal's full forward line have contributed 3. Little nudge from John Gilday went unnoticed. Paul McGrain. Aidan O'Rourke scored a great point against Laois. This is a dangerous ball. Tony Blake got a fist to it and it seemed to rebound off Barry Monahan. And out for the first 45 for Armagh. Let's watch this again. Aidan O'Rourke scored a great point against Laois. This one dropped in. Tony Blake just got a touch here and hit it off Barry Monahan, conceding the 45. Once again, it's Oisin McConville. Opts for kicking this off the ground, but it's gone wide. Armagh now have had 9 wides in the opening half. No wides for Donegal. Interesting statistic. Certainly Donegal are here in their full regalia, full colour. Straw boys from County Donegal.
Breaking ball picked up by Philip Loughran. Paul McGrain. Kieran McGeeney. Unusual for him, just seemed to take his eye off the ball. Damien Diver came in with a challenge when Kieran McGeeney was quite low down, trying to recover from his earlier mistake. And Damien Diver could well see a yellow card here. And Damien Diver joins his colleague in the full back line, Raymond Sweeney, on a yellow card. Just watch this again. McGeeney lost possession here, and as he was trying to pick up the ball, you can see there Damien Diver, and that was quite a dangerous challenge. So a chance now for Armagh to level matters. Owen O'Neill, the physio there for Armagh from the Cooley Kickham's club in County Louth. Oisin McConville again will try. Little or no breeze here in Croke Park. No sunshine, no rain. Drops this in again, it's batted out. And over the end line for a 45.
He should have got a call there. Somebody should have told him to go out because there was no one near him. He should have left the ball out. The wind must be having some effect down there on the pitch, Marty, because Oisin McConville, normally his percentage of scoring is much higher than what it is here today. Armagh have missed quite a few scores. I know some of them are just scraping by the side of the post, but ordinarily he kicked them over there for fun.
And you get conflicting signals from the flags around the pitch. In front of the Cusick stand, you can see the flag just top of your television screen glowing. Hogan stand does no breeze. Here's Oisin's kick. And he certainly is getting plenty of practice taking these frays, but none of them are going over. Just 2 out of 6 place balls gone over the bar now by Oisin McConville. Not a good batting average by Oisin standards. It means Donegal, after 31 minutes of action, are leading by 1 point. A little bit of a concern for Joe Kernan. Some fouling on Stephen McDermott. That'll be a free for Donegal. John Gilday to take. Has no option but to give it long, but he gives it away. Tony McEntee. Kieran McGeeney. Again, it's that ball aimed at Stephen McDonald. Dylan Marsden. Under pressure from Raymond Sweeney, and Sweeney just gets a touch. Down fires Barry Monahan. Over the far side, now into picture comes Paul McGonigal. He's fouled by Kieran McGeeney, free to Donegal.
That's the type of cynical football really that gives Armagh the kind of name they have, playing negatively and stuff like that. The referee should book him actually and make sure that he doesn't do it again.
And the ball has been brought forward as well, Tony, there for descent, an extra 13 metres, and Kieran McGeeney's name has been ticked off. Well won by Brian Roper. But the kick slices off his boot. It's the first wide for Donegal. 32 minutes played, heading for the 33rd minute. A young man who was born in Boston, now in Ballyshannon. Armagh have possession again. John McEntee, the player that was fouled, and Barry Monahan. And for a descent this time on the Donegal side, an extra 13 metres for Armagh. Oisin McConville makes a run over towards the Cusick stand. Shane Carr with him. Dermot Marsden under pressure wins possession. Chance here, which again is going well wide, and the umpire has no doubt that the ball had crossed the end line by the time Tony Blake got to it. That's 10 wides for Armagh. As has just been announced, 2 minutes of additional extra time here, at least.
Yes, that's been very poor play by Armagh in the last period of time. They've only scored 3 points, Donegal 4 in this half. They had plenty of chances. I suppose Joe Kiernan would be a lot more worried if they weren't creating chances, but they don't look that convincing so far.
Paul McGonigal, lovely flick on for John Gilday. Michael Hegarty available to his right, goes back to Paul McGonigal. In the centre is Stephen McDermott. Brendan Devaney wanted it long, but coming through is Shane Carr. This is a chance. Oh yes, a goal for Donegal. What a fantastic goal. Donegal in its defence-splitting move here finished the net superbly. Brian Roper was involved, so too was Barry Monahan, and at the very end was Christy Toy.
A terrific goal, Marty, terrific. Ran at the heart of defence, took the hits that Armagh gave him. I know there's 3 people injured on the field at the moment, but what a finish down to the corner. What a time to get a goal just before half-time.
The first goal to be conceded by Armagh in the Championship of 2003. It comes minutes before the half-time whistle. Stephen McDermott is down injured as we look at the replay. Shane Carr, Christy Toy, Paul Hegarty beaten here for the very first time in the Championship. This is the reverse angle. This brought the Donegal people to their feet in Croke Park.
Great movement of the ball by Donegal, going forward at pace, moving it fast, and a fantastic finish. And everybody that had the ball that time going forward, they had to take the hit. I know there's a few people down there hurt after that, which is well worth it going in at half-time.
A huge psychological boost to Donegal. The All-Ireland champions trailing now by 4 points. 36 minutes played. Diarmuid Marsden, the character of the All-Ireland champions, being tested with their shooting boots. I think they left them above an Armagh, because we now have a total of 11 wides in the opening half. Armagh's last score, by the way, came in the 14th minute. That is an amazing statistic when you're talking about the All-Ireland football champions.
Yes, I wonder how long it will be in half-time before they come out this time, Marty.
They tell me they're going to come out early, but we'll just have to wait and see now. Their cage has been rattled. Diarmuid Marsden squeezes this just inside the left-hand post. And that's their first point, as I mentioned, a goal since the 14th minute. 3 points between the teams. Christy Toy's goal, the difference between the teams.
That was a very important score for Armagh to get, and Marsden pulled it out of the fire again. He's the one player this year with all his hard work that makes things happen for Armagh, and that was psychologically a very important score for them.
Referee Michael Monahan blows the half-time whistle. Kieran McGeaney will be anxious to get his colleagues into the dressing room quickly. Christy Toy with a goal and a point in the opening 35 minutes for Donegal, very much the hero, but there'll be a lot of talking to be done at half-time by Brian McAniff, who must be very pleased, and Joe Kiernan, who must be very concerned. At half-time here in Croke Park, Donegal are leading by 1 goal and 4 points to Armagh's 4 points. And a most interesting opening 35 minutes, and the All-Ireland champions in a spot of bother here at headquarters.
For the challenge in this All-Ireland semi-final, they are leading the All-Ireland champions by 1-4 to 4 points. The views of the panel in the moment. Views of some other people first, though. Mickey Hart, the Tyrone manager, more than an interested spectator at this game. So too is Shay Given, Ireland's international goalkeeper. They're with Jim Carney.
Mickey, the goal has electrified Croke Park. It'll be shown a million times, but the Diarmuid Marsden point just before half-time, surely that's as important.
I think you're right, Jim. I think if you cast your mind back to last year's All-Ireland final, and Armagh were in trouble that stage, Diarmuid Marsden had a point either side of half-time. I think they were critical in their victory, and again I think Joe will be very pleased that they responded well to that goal that he just conceded.
Now, what do you make of it, Mickey?
Well, I make it exactly what we always thought it was going to be. It was a bit of a game of chess early on. Both sides were throwing the extra man back in the defence, and therefore there was going to be a shorter forward. So it was going to be very difficult to work in accurate ball in them, so it had to be worked in short passing, and that's what happened. And there's no surprise to anybody, and it's a question of wearing each other down nearly. And I think the thing will have to open up a wee bit in the second half. But whoever stands tallest coming into the last 8 or 9 minutes will probably win this game.
Fair enough. Thank you for talking to us, Mickey. We'll let you back to your seat to enjoy the second half.
You're welcome, Jim.
Thank you. Mickey Hart, great to see him here. We're joined as well by Shay Given, proudly wearing his Donegal jersey. Now, Shay, this is a different game for you today than it was yesterday, but you love it, don't you?
Very much so, yeah. We had a disappointing result yesterday, but the score at half-time so far so good. We got a great goal just before half-time, and hopefully we can capitalise that in the second half.
Tell us about your Donegal background, first of all.
Obviously, I think I'm from Lifford, you know, and I'm sitting over with all my brothers and all my friends from Lifford up there, having a great crack, and I think that goal just added it there just before half-time.
What do you make of the atmosphere and the pitch? Would you like to play here your own game?
I wouldn't mind, I mean, the stadium is superb. The last time I was here was 1992 when Donegal beat Dublin in the All-Ireland final, you know, and it's the first time being here since, you know, and I mean, the surroundings is unbelievable. The pitch is amazing and the stadium is superb, and I don't know who needs to make a few phone calls, but it'd be great if we could play here for the international team.
Finally, Shay, Christy Toy's goal, you were up off your seat.
Most definitely, yeah. It was a few hugging some people didn't even know there, but no, it was a great goal just before half-time. I mean, Armagh have a lot of wide, you know, and hopefully that'll give the lads a lift, but I know the Armagh manager's got great half-time team talks, you know, so hopefully we can stand firm in the second half and get the right result.
Shay, wonderful to see you here. Enjoy the second half.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, a broad smile on the face of Shay Given at half-time. Will he be smiling at the end of this match? Oh, it's all to play for, isn't it? Let's have a look at the stats then from the first half of this All-Ireland semi-final. Just to repeat the score, Donegal leading 1-4 to 4 points. 6 points less than there was at half-time of the minor match, by the way. 8 frees for Armagh, 9 for Donegal, but the wide, I think, tells its own story. Oisin McConville hasn't quite got his target in focus just yet for some of his frees and 45s. Big worry, obviously, for Armagh. And 3 yellow cards also in that first half. Now, Pat Spillane, Colin O'Rourke with me here in our presentation studio. The goal, Shay Given has been talking about it, has been a hugely important one, Colin, obviously, for Donegal, because it puts them in the driving seat.
It does, yeah, and maybe it'll shake Armagh, because Armagh are not playing well, but Donegal have been very smart. They have, you know, kept Damien Diver back, but not as a defender all the time, and he's moving up and helping his forward line. So, you know, Donegal have been tactically very good. Armagh dominated possession, and would be in front, but all the whiles. But Christy Toy has done very well. He kicked a great point to start the game off his left foot, but Donegal have shown how you must breach this packed defence. You can't kick the ball in because there's too many backs inside, so you must work it in with short passes.
This is the goal, Pat.
It is, and I mean, one thing that Donegal have over Armagh is pace, and when they attack Armagh and carry it, like as Colin says, not kicking it, but on one-to-one, giving the ball on, having good support play with players at pace, and this was excellent. Great movement, quick ball, and Christy Toy, he had a man unmarked, he had Davini unmarked on the left-hand side. It showed great confidence. The guy is unsung in this half, and tremendous into the corner. Paul Hearty had no chance. That was a tremendous goal, and in fairness, in the first half, you know, we'd normally be criticising the football and whatever like that. I found, as opposed to last week, maybe it is a change before that, I found it absorbing, intriguing. It's a game of chess. I don't agree with the safety first policy of both teams. I don't agree with this defensive minded game, but it's intriguing just to watch how one team is trying to break down the other. It's far better. We see Shay Given here. I saw Ireland playing Australian lands on the road a couple of weeks ago, and you'd have better atmosphere at the funeral. This is absorbing, entertaining, and there's a great atmosphere, but it's the sort of game I think maybe Armagh could still sneak. It's tough, it's tight, and that's Armagh's type of game.
There's a very tense atmosphere in the stadium, and I think that says it all about this game.
Absolutely. But you saw that Donegal goal. There was only 2 kicks in the move, which came the whole length of the field. The kick out, and then there were 7 or 8 short passes, and then the final shot. It was only 2 kicks. Now, it's not the type of football that I like, and a lot of older people don't like it. But to win this game, Donegal must do that. They must hand pass through the middle of the field. And Armagh must do the same, because Donegal set out with 7 backs as well. The only problem for Donegal is, or for Armagh is, Donegal have worked to push them out, and they're shooting from maybe 40-50 yards, and as you said, Oisin McConville and Stephen McDonald just aren't hitting the target.
There's 3 points in it. There was a penalty call for Armagh in that first half. When they look at this again, they'll be wondering how they didn't get a penalty.
There was. I thought, like I said, I thought in possession stakes, Armagh dominated the first half. I thought their forward movement was quite good. Now, Donegal is susceptible under the high ball. The ball comes out to Ronan Clark, and I think no doubt about it, I think he was wrestled to the ground by Tony Blake. I think in this instance, watch it carefully, comes out to Tony Clark, 2 hands wrapped around him by Tony Blake, a definite penalty. I think a cop out by the ref, who admittedly up to now has had a reasonably good game. I can't complain. 17 frees. It's been, you know, it's been tough, it's been tight, but he's been strict when needed. He's left the play flow on when he needed, but in that instance he copped out.
Let's have a look at Paul McGrane's point, because you want to illustrate here, Colin O'Rourke, that this kind of gave an early warning to the possible frailties that might be in Donegal's defence. Now, it didn't materialise that it happened,
no,
but he found space very easily.
He found space. I think Paul McGrane is the face of Club Energise, and he was up and down the field all day, so must be drinking plenty of it. Armagh have no problem playing the ball into people with the back on them, and you see Marsden with the power holding off, but a fantastic crossfield pass. He hops the ball twice, by the way, should have been a free out, but McGrane inside and, you know, could have been in the net again. So Donegal have been warned there, but the Armagh forwards have missed a lot, not by much, and now they're in a tight situation. The only thing I say about Armagh is they will keep playing the same way. They won't panic. If you were to pick a team in the country to be 3 points behind and not to panic, you'd say it has to be Armagh.
Gentlemen, I know they're in analysing this game in the dressing room right now. We'll find out what the results of their analysis has been after the break and see how they play in the second half. And we saw earlier was Pat Spillane, Armagh's #1 fan. They went to a lot of trouble to make it as well.
Well, I don't know, I mean, I'm a fan of Ulster football. I wouldn't like to say I'm a fan of Armagh over Tyrone. I just love Ulster football. I'm praiseworthy of them all the time, and I just love the way they take no notice about criticism or anything like that, and then push it off. So I'm just a fan of Ulster football, Michael.
Should we know that, Pat? We think actually it might have been Francie Value's family that designed the
went to a lot of trouble in it.
You did go to a lot of trouble. Here's a surprise, Colin O'Rourke. No sign of either team.
No sign of either team.
We might actually, there's the one we were talking about. They did go to a lot of trouble, didn't they?
Yeah.
But no sign of either team. I'd say if you went away, folks, and came back in about an hour's time, they might say...
I'm sure Brian McAniff will say...
Hold it.
I thought he wouldn't allow his team out until Armagh were out, in case they'd be left waiting for 2 or 3 minutes on the pitch. But Armagh are in a bit of a jam. They're not functioning up front. They have to do a bit of a rethink now. And, you know, you might see them going back to 6 forwards if things don't change for them. But they won't panic. They'll keep plugging away. If McConville and McDonald get, their shooting boots on, they're still in this game in a big way.
No changes, by the way, on the Donegal team.
I know they have television down there. They're waiting for us to say something bad, and we're not going to say anything at all bad about the game. And geez, this is unbelievable.
Well, I have to say that compared to last Sunday, it's a very enjoyable game. Now, normally if you're only 4 points each in the game, you say, God, this must be a terrible dour affair. In fact, it's quite the opposite.
It's a game of chess. It's a game of chess, and it's intriguing to watch how one team is trying to counteract the other, and how one team is trying to look for a chink in the armoury of the other. So it's intriguing, it's absorbing, and it's keeping the crowd on their feet, and I'm enjoying it. I hope the Ulster people are listening to this, aren't they, Michael?
Well, you certainly have said it enough times at this stage.
Am I grovelling enough?
You must have a few gigs up in the north in the next couple of weeks. OK, no changes on the Armagh team either. Let's go back to our commentary team then again of Tony Davis and Marty Morrissey.
Thank you very much, Michael. Yes, Armagh coming out quickly for the second half. Joe Kernan did tell me in Crossmaglen during the week that they were intending to be on time, and that Kieran McGeeney would finish the pep talk on the field, and that's exactly what has happened. 30 seconds, we put a clock in it up here in our commentary position, after Donegal emerged from the dressing room. No changes on either side. The All-Ireland champions down by 3 points to a Christy Toy goal just on the stroke of half-time. Ronan Clark on in full forward as we start the second half. Philip Loughran to McGeeney to John McEntee, giving it long towards Ronan Clark. Bit of a lunge by Raymond Sweeney, and Stephen McDonald is still down on the ground. Michael Hegarty, Adrian Sweeney, good ball in front of his captain. Back outside, if he can get the ball to him, is Stephen McDermott, under severe pressure from Kieran McGeeney. And Adrian Sweeney gets the free. Stephen McDonald down again, and very quickly onto the field is Owen O'Neill, the team physio. Adrian Sweeney, scorer of a point already in the first half. This to put his county 4 points in front. First free for Adrian Sweeney, and it finds the target. If there is a breeze on the pitch, judging by those flags on the Cusack stand side, they are favouring Donegal in this second half. Armagh pumping the ball in high. Interestingly enough, their 2 possessions at midfield have adopted the long ball. Another one. Ball hooked beyond Damien Diver. Raymond Sweeney is back there, and so to his centre forward Michael Hegarty. Goal scorer Christy Toy, picked up by Kieran McGeaney. Did he touch the ball on the ground? Donegal players object. Backfires Oisin McConville, and Damien Diver again defending as if his life depended on it. He really is a versatile player, the cornerback. He can play absolutely anywhere, and always with this intensity. Here's McGeaney, touched the ball on the ground just before that. He got it the second time.
Yes, interesting. Ronan Clark and Stephen MacDonald in full forward now for Armagh, and I have no doubt that they'll route one high ball into the square and wait for the break inside her. They feel they have a height advantage inside and around the square, and anytime a high ball went in, it caused difficulty for Donegal.
This is the third Armagh 45. They missed both first half ones, and interestingly they've also changed the kicker. Stephen MacDonald now taking responsibility for this 45. Comes back off the post. Niall McCready underneath it, watching it. And Donegal come away with it. Paul McGonigal. Intended pass blocked by Ronan Clark. Stephen MacDonald. Oisin McConville cutting inside. Pulled down by Raymond Sweeney. And Raymond Sweeney, you will recall, is on a yellow card from the first half. His second yellow, and it's a red card. The captain's brother has just been sent off. In the 38th minute, Donegal are down to 14 men. It was a personal foul. It was certainly a second yellow, and he was already booked for a challenge in the first half. Referee was correct. Oisin McConville chipping this over the bar. It's his third point.
Yes, a correct decision by the referee. The adrenaline would be flowing just after half-time, and he just wasn't thinking. He didn't be so cold about his think, I'm on a yellow card, I can't pull somebody down, but it's a huge loss for Donegal, and hands the initiative back over to Armagh now.
Jim McGuinness is having a word with Raymond Sweeney, who is obviously devastated. His county now down to 14 men against the All-Ireland champions. But we have seen these sort of stories unfold so many times in the past, and 14 men can often win these fantastic struggles. In a championship semi-final, there's a lot at stake. Free quickly taken. Down pass Christy Toy. Tony McEntee, corner forward, chasing after it. Adrian Sweeney, available outside. Michael Hegarty, crossfield ball. Is a very good one. There's Paul McGonigal. Under pressure from Paul McGrain. Not good use of the ball. Philip Loughran is back there for Armagh. Paul McGonigal just might get it a second time round. Referee has blown his whistle. McGonigal was fouled. There was a pull on his ankle, and that has to be a free on the 20-metre line. And Donegal, from their perspective, now need a score here.
Yes, they do, but as you said a while ago, Marty, So often in these positions, people just put their head down and work hard and keep working, and it makes up for that extra man. But Armagh come very good in the second half of most games, so it's going to be very difficult for them.
Michael Hegarty. Wave is good, but it was Brendan Devaney that puts it over the bar. 2 out of 2 for the corner forward. This is the challenge on McGonigal. See his ankle here, being pulled, being tripped. Had to be a free. Andy Mallon. Back to Philip Loughlin. Far side available is Aidan O'Rourke. 2 against 2 here. That's Ronan Clark and Stephen McDonald playing up front. Taking on Niall McCready. Still McDonald. Easy ball for Tony Blake in the end. John Gilday is back there helping out his defence. Kevin Cassidy. Paul McGonigal. The tactical game continues, but Armagh win possession. Aidan O'Rourke. Paul McGrain. Pass not a great one, but McGeaney recovered. Back to Paul McGrain. Scorer of the point in the first half. Hits it powerfully, but inaccurately. Brian McAniff, what can he do? He has brought this team from a defeat against Fermanagh and Enniskillen. He's now down to 14 men. Tactically, he's got it right so far. How is he going to rejig his forces now? Paul McGonigal. Knocked away by Paul McGrain. Tries Ronan Clark. Clark steadies. And again, it's curling to the left. That's no return out of 5 chances, 5 shots at goal that we've registered. Joe Kernan having a word with one of the Grimleys, saying things are not going well in our attack. Brendan Boyle comes on for Stephen McDermott, who was involved in the move that brought Christy Toy his goal. Brendan Boyle played against Galway in the replay, 21-year-old.
The big problem for Donegal here is with Raymond Sweeney gone now, they haven't anyone in front of the full back line sweeping, so that's going to create a 2-on-2 inside for Armagh.
Chance here for Paul McGrain now. And again, it's gone to the left and wide. We now have 14 wides for Armagh. The shooting by Armagh, Tony, is very disappointing.
They look nervous, Marty. They're just taking the wrong options. There was 2 loose men inside them. All you had to do was lay them off.
Armagh beginning to dominate around centre field. Here comes Ronan Clark. Paul McGonigal back there defending. Clark gets through the challenge, and incredibly, he shoots it to the left and wide again. 6 scoring opportunities for Ronan Clark, with no return. Still to score in this All-Ireland semi-final. Also scoreless, John McEntee, Tony McEntee, Stephen McDonald. The scorers, to look at it from another perspective, Oisin McConville, Diarmuid Marsden and Paul McGrain. This is a test of character for the 14-man Donegal. Oisin McConville pulled back by John Gilday, which was silly to say the least. And this could well be a yellow card for John Gilday. A yellow card for the midfielder. Becomes the 3rd yellow card for Donegal. McDonald has a chance, and he takes it. First point of the match for the corner forward that has scored 4 goals and 22 points. in the championship so far. Brian McAniff has a consultation with PJ McGowan and Michael Oliver McIntyre. Tactically, they may be deciding on changing.
Very difficult when you're a man down against Armagh, because you can't play one in front as a sweeper. They'll keep Tony McAtee back in their half-back line trying to sweep up, so you're just going to have to work that bit harder all the time.
Free for John Gilday. Extra 13 metres for descent from Armagh. They're now just outside the 45. Adrian Sweeney coming out to take this. Going into this match, he had scored 37 points for Donegal in the championship, their top scorer by far. This is dropping in. Francie Bellew leaves it. Paul McGrain as Armagh surge forward. Dermot Marsden. Paul McGonigal goes back into defence. Coming from the centre is Paul McGrain. Good interplay by Armagh. Philip Loughran with a scoring opportunity, and he sends it across the face of the goal and wide. 16 wides for Armagh. They're kicking this All-Ireland semi-final away. It continues to be, so far, Donegal's game. 5 wides for Armagh in the second half alone. "12 minutes played now in the second half. Brendan Boyle, so disappointed not to start in this semi-final. Brendan Devaney survives several challenges and then wastes all that hard work by driving it wide. And in contrast, if you're into statistics, that's Donegal's second wide of the game. Paul Hearty looking at options available. Goes for the central route. Breaking ball picked up by John Gilday. Needs the support and help of Michael Hegarty. Drives it in towards Adrian Sweeney. Francie Bellew with it. Sweeney gathering. Bellew trying to defend. Sweeney sends it over the bar. From an almost impossible angle, really. He was under severe pressure from Francie Bellew, and Donegal stretched their lead. This is the reverse angle. Francie Bellew kept nudging it, kept staying goal side of it. Adrian Sweeney, you can see the angle was quite difficult, but he judged it perfectly.
That was a terrific score. And now we see Jimmy McGuinness on for Paul McGonigal. Paul has worked his legs off all around midfield, and I'm sure Jimmy McGuinness will do some similar job for Donegal. He'll have to make up for that extra man.
Jim McGuinness on, as Tony says, for Paul McGonigal. Stephen McDonald with Niall McCready keeping him company over at the far side. McCready knows that he has a tendency to go on to his left. A shot by Dermot Marsden comes back up the post, and Donegal survive. Good ball. Down first, Jim McGuinness, just introduced. The man who scored a goal in the Ulster final against Armagh last year. Giving it to Christy Toy, the man who scored a goal in today's semi-final. Brian Roper, the pass, the overlap doesn't quite work. Pulling on it is Andy Mallon. Brian Roper is after fouling him. The referee has blown his whistle, and this is going to be free for Armagh. Meanwhile, play continues down. They've now stopped. 49.5 minutes played. Donegal with 14 players. A matter of grave concern for Joe Kernan. A little bit of niggling activity going off the ball here. Referee Michael Monahan has gone in to check. I think it's Shane Carr that's down injured. But there was a little bit of off-the-ball activity involving an Armagh player.
Yes, I think John McAtee thinks he's holding the play up, trying to kill the momentum that Armagh have at the moment. Armagh really have no luck here today. They're hitting the post and hitting the crossbar and hitting everything. Maybe this is one of those days where nothing will go right for them.
McGeaney gives it to Stephen McDonnell, and again it's gone wide. We now have reached 17 wides, that is, for Armagh, All-Ireland champions. Donegal remain on 2. When you consider all the chances that Galway had against Donegal as well, you begin to think maybe, just maybe, Donegal could well be heading for the September 28 clash. Less than 20 minutes to go. Michael Hegarty. In the centre, Barry Monahan. Andy Mallon. Referee has blown his whistle. And Christy Toy was deemed to have been fouling the cornerback. Going to be a free for Armagh. Armagh, by the way, have had 32 chances. Donegal, 15. Michael Hegarty fouled. Going to be a free for Michael Hegarty.
Michael Hegarty is the perfect player in positions like this. When he gets the ball, he never wastes it, holds onto it, and he's won himself a free, a little outside the 45, but still in a scoreable position if someone can come short for it.
Philip Loughran being spoken to and a yellow card being shown. The shot dropping in. Brilliantly gathered right under the crossbar. John McEntee getting it down for Philip Loughran. Paul McGrain trying to get away from the challenge of Brendan Boyle. Dermot Marsden, Niall McCready and Stephen McDonnell. This time McDonnell trying to get inside his marker, and this is going to be a free for Armagh just to the left of the post. And once again it's going to be Oisín McConville. This is 4th point of the match if it goes over the bar. And all 4 points from frees. Yet to score from play. Armagh trail by 1 goal. Aimed at John Gildea. Paul McGrain knocking it down for Oisín McConville. Stephen McDonnell. Niall McCready still with him. Crossfield ball. Kevin Cassidy. Good defending by the all-star left half back from 2002. Gives it to Barry Monahan. Son of Donal. All-star in 1974. Brendan Boyle laying it off as Donegal try and keep possession. Christy Toy in a spot of bowler. He's fouled, and that's going to be a free for Donegal. Kieran McGeaney pleading with the referee why that was a free. And in fact, McGeaney is now being noted for what I would make to be the 2nd time in this game, and he now receives a yellow card. And I think that's for more dissent than anything else. 3 yellow cards for Armagh. The umpire at the canal end is looking and seeking for the referee's attention. And obviously there was something going on off the ball. This is Kieran O'Donnell from Raheem's club, is having a word with his official. Francie Bellew and Adrian Sweeney are also being spoken to. While Brian McAniff thinks and ponders down the sideline. Michael Monahan is obviously intent on keeping control here, and he's issuing a yellow card to both players.
All this is going to suit Donegal because it slowed down the impetus that Armagh had built up.
Ball given away. Kieran McGeaney gathers possession. 15 minutes left in this All-Ireland semi-final. Armagh still trail This is 2 against 1. McDonald wins the tussle. Blake, a goal for Armagh. Level for the 4th time in Croke Park. This came from a long ball. It was 2 against 1. It should have been won by Donegal. McDonald did superbly here, and his finish was really, really classy. Dermot Marsden coming through the centre. Philip Loughlin loses possession. Donegal regained. Damien Diver. Aimed at Christy Toy, now playing it left half forward. Adrian Sweeney. Remember, it's 15-man Armagh, All-Ireland champions, against 14-man Donegal. This is the Donegal captain. Level for 4 occasions in Croke Park. The free quickly taken. Tim McGuinness gathers it second time round. He's fouled by Kieran McGeaney, and this is an opportunity for Donegal to go back in front.
That was a terrific goal by Steve McDonald. It's the one area where he has it over Niall McCready here today. The high ball in, and with Raymond Sweeney off, they don't have the luxury anymore of having the man sweeping up in front of them. So they have to contest every ball 50-50, and he's one of the best in the game. He's quite tall, quite strong, and what a finish.
Really was superbly won here by McDonald, and beat the goalkeeper as well in the process. Ronan Clark has been taken off and replaced by Justin McNulty, as that is sent over the bar by Brendan Devaney. Paddy McKeever is actually the substitute, which would make much more sense because Justin McNulty is a defender. It's number 19. Donegal lead by a point. Ball aimed at nobody in particular. Fabulous heart by Donegal. Brian Roper giving it quickly. And goes for the overlap and the return. Coming through on this side is Barry Monahan. Francie Bellew has it somewhere. And the referee is going to give what seems to be, judging by his hand signals there, a free to Armagh.
Yes, and very brave play by Francie Bellew there to go for the ball. Brian Roper is putting his neck on the line every time he gets the ball today. He's full of energy and running. He's done such fantastic things for Donegal here today.
This is Francie Bellew here. There's a high challenge by Barry Monahan, and the ball just seemed to be caught there between his knees, and he's obviously hurt his thigh, as once again the physio Owen O'Neill is quite busy. Francie Bellew, winner of 3 All-Ireland club medals with Crossmaglen. Joe Kernan knows him since he was a 10-year-old and has seen him develop into a senior intercounty footballer. Just over 10 minutes left now. Brian McAniff walking that line for the 5th term as manager. Could he possibly bring his county to an All-Ireland final again? All-Ireland champions Armagh won't give up Sam without a fight. This is John McEntee, aimed at Stephen McDonald again. Picked up by Damien Diver. Needs a long ball, up fires Brian Roper, carried too much. Coming through is Andy Mellon. Good play. Back outside fires Paddy McKeever. Hoping to reach the target, but he too sends it wide. 18 wides in this match for Armagh. And they're trailing by a point. So that injury for Francie Bellew means that Justin McNulty is on.
Yes, there's no way Joe McKiernan would take a chance of him limping around inside the square marking Adrian Sweeney. You want somebody really tight there because he's the one guy that could make a difference.
Justin McNulty was fullback last year and played in most of the games in the championship up to the Dublin match. Well won by Oisin McConville. Shane Carr gives chase. Niall McCready guilty of fouling Stephen McDonald, and another free opportunity for Oisin McConville. Michael Monahan shows a yellow card to the cornerback from Ballyshannon. Niall McCready is now on a yellow card, like his other cornerback Damien Diver. Oisin McConville tips this over Tony Blake's crossbar. 5 points for Oisin McConville, all of them from frees. Level in Croke Park for the 5th time.
In ordinary circumstances with Armagh, you'd expect him to finish strong with an extra man and in control here now. You'd expect him to go on and win it, but don't run off Donegal yet.
Mentioned earlier in our broadcast were 2 draws, 1993, 1999 in the province of Ulster. It's always been close between these two teams. 8 minutes to go. Teams level on 5 occasions. Crossfield goal, but back there defending is Christy Toy. The number 5 is Aidan O'Rourke. Pulled down the second time, no doubt about the free. And once again, the referee is just ticking off Christy Toy's name in the book. Anxious faces in the crowd as Paddy McKeever goes across to take. It's quite a difficult angle, as you can see from our camera behind the posts. McKeever judges it perfectly. Armagh are in front. Armagh in front for the first time since the 14th minute of the first half. Referee has given a free to Donegal, but there's an Armagh player down injured. And once again, physio Owen O'Neill is on. Andrew McCann picked up an injury in that sequence of play. Formerly of Tiernan and Portadown, and he had a spell as well with Ballyboat and St Enda's here in Dublin. So left half back Andrew McCann is back in his position. Michael Hegarty. Easy ball for Armagh and for Enda McNulty. Good running off the ball by Paddy McKeever. Given possession by John McEntee. Ball comes free. Michael Hegarty back there helping out. Pass was a little bit too tight for John Gildea. John McEntee hits it with power, but it's very much off target. Kick out very quickly taken. Damien Diver's jersey well pulled and tested by Dermot Marsden. Barry Monahan, Michael Hegarty, Shane Carr tries to get by Kieran McGeeney. Andrew McCann fully recovered from that injury moments ago. Adrian Sweeney, some off the ball activity. We'll continue on with the play. It's Sweeney, blocked down superbly by Tony McEntee. That blanket defence working there, to say the least. Paddy McKeever to John McEntee. Looking around for the run. The run is provided by Stephen McDonald. With him, surprisingly, this time is Jim McGuinness. Niall McCready just gone off him momentarily. Tony Blake. And there's a chance of a goal, and it's just inches wide. Dermot Marsden got a touch. Tony Blake and Damien Diver got their signals all messed up. And this was a chance to ensure Armagh's passage to the All-Ireland final. Diver had it. Blake was off his line. And the ball goes agonisingly wide. A high elbow there on Barry Monahan, right in front of the referee. And Michael Monahan was watching John McEntee. The referee is going to check with his linesman, who is Brian White from Wexford, down here in front of us. And John McEntee has not seen a yellow card or been shown a yellow card in this match. 4 Armagh players have, but not John McEntee. Let's see what the referee is going to do here. He's gone over to John McEntee. Remember, it's 14 against 15 players here. Michael Monahan is writing in the name of John McEntee, showing a yellow card. And I think McEntee will be relieved. This is the incident again. And there was the elbow.
That was a red card offence. I think he should have walked for that, definitely.
Absolutely.
He hit him with the elbow right into the face. Donegal are very unfortunate there, and it's not down to 14 men apiece, and there'll be about 5 or 6 minutes left and they'll be right in it.
John Harron is going to be introduced. He's been used as a substitute. He played in the half-forward line against Fermanagh. He replaces John Gilday. Can Donegal create an opportunity and level this All-Ireland semi-final? Jim McGuinness. Gone inside is Brendan Boyle. Referee looks on as Donegal lose possession. Andrew McCann. 2 minutes left in the clock. There probably will be injury time as well. Paul McGrain as Armagh hold possession. Damien Diver knocks it down for Kevin Cassidy. Niall McCready as Donegal come from their own half of the field, seeking an equaliser. 14 men against 15. Michael Hegarty. The running by Niall McCready is impressive. They're going for glory here. Brendan Boyle and Paul Hearty will see it go out. Donegal would claim a 45, but it's in vain. The third wide of the game for Donegal.
They should have held possession, Marty, all the way and maybe drawn a free off the Armagh backs. That was the last thing they wanted, was to kick it wide at this stage of the game.
5 extra minutes. 5 extra minutes to be played. Brilliant catch, Kevin Cassidy. It's a free for Donegal. John Gilday and Brendan Devaney have gone off. John Harron and Colin McFadden are on. This is Colin McFadden. Joe is rather annoyed in telling his defence a few facts, which is most unusual. This is an important kick for Donegal. Adrian Sweeney hits it. It looks good. The sides are level for the 6th time. Adrian Sweeney's 4th point could well mean, possibly, this match could be going to a replay.
This kick out is absolutely vital for both teams now. Whoever wins it will drive forward and try and draw a foul or try and get a score off it.
What a pulsating encounter. It's Donegal. 5 minutes added time. We're into injury time in Croke Park. Brian Roper available if he needs him is Jim McGuinness. The pass across field intercepted, however. Paddy McKeever. Kieran McGeaney fouled, and this is going to be a free for Donegal. Or rather for Armagh. Stephen McDonald, well read by Niall McCready. McDonald was giving signals to Kieran McGeaney. Passes a poor one. It comes to John McEntee. Running as if his life depended on Shane Carr. But the ball falls to Philip Loughran. Chance to be a star and the man who possibly puts them into the All-Ireland final. It's his first point in this All-Ireland semi-final. The kick out by Tony Blake is a good one. It comes to Brendan Boyle from Ardra, giving it down to his captain Raymond Sweeney. Referee blows his whistle. 3 to Donegal. They have to do it again. They have to seek an equaliser. Still time, remember. Almost 2 minutes played of injury time. We have 5 minutes in total. Sweeney ups for the quick ball to Michael Hegarty. Trying to work it into a better angle. Hegarty, effort blocked down. Rebound falls to Philip Loughran. Andrew McCann. Enda McNulty loses possession. Michael Hegarty. Ball is loose again. It's scrappy, it's untidy, and the referee, I'm sure, is going to give a throw ball here. Two and a half minutes played of injury time. 2.5 to go for these fans. They've been level 6 times. Donegal have to seek an equaliser for the 7th time. They need possession here. Looks like Paddy McKeever, and it's a free to Armagh. Coming out to take it, it's goalkeeper Paul Hearty. In no rush. Michael Ryan, the linesman, just telling him to take it from where the foul was committed. Paul McGrain. Ball comes loose. It's Kevin Cassidy. For a sliding tackle, free to Donegal. A minute and a half left. Kevin Cassidy with the free inside his own half of the field. Opts to give it long. The breaking ball is Donegal's almost. Armagh regain possession. Oisin McConville to John McEntee. Giving it into the space. Tony Blake has to come off his line here. Paddy McKeever. Paddy McKeever brought down. Tries to get a boot to it, and the ball is in the net. The referee, however, is going to give a penalty. Paddy McKeever's joy may turn to disappointment. It's a penalty for Armagh. Donegal are still in it, if only just. What a finish. What a struggle. Diarmuid Marsden, Oisin McConville is the normal penalty taker. Marsden standing beside him. Will he just tap this over the bar? What would you do? Most would decide to just tap it over. Tony Blake concentrates. Here's Oisin. Goes for the goal. Armagh surely are in the All-Ireland final. He's scored a goal and 5 points, and all of them from frees. Look at this. driven low, confident, into the corner, and it is all over. Donegal put up a wonderful, brave display. Tears in the eyes of Donegal people, but for Joe Kernan and Armagh, the voyage continues. The All-Ireland champions are through to the All-Ireland football final against Tyrone. History in the making on September 28th. Tyrone and Armagh. For Donegal, it's heartbreak. They gave it everything. From losing on the 1st of June, 2 for Monahan in Enniskillen. These Donegal boys showed tremendous heart, tremendous determination to get back to this wonderful arena for an All-Ireland semi-final. But the joy and the day belongs to Armagh. The Orchard County showed character. His penalty in the end made sure. There's the full-time score. Armagh, 2 goals and 10 points. Donegal, 1 goal and 9.
Fantastic second half. It had everything in it. Thought the sending off was a bit harsh.
Yeah.
But I think Armagh showed their true greatness. You know, everything going wrong. 20 wides, fellas that, like Stephen McDonald and Oisin McConville, you'd normally put your life on to kick over points. And then when they needed it most, McDonald struck for the goal that changed the course of the game. And that, for me, has been the goal of the championship, because players can score goals when you're 5 or 6 in front, but like when you needed a man to score a goal, and it was a difficult one, catch the ball over his man and stick it in the net, Armagh 3 points behind. McDonald won the game for Armagh with that piece of bravery and skill.
Because as Colm said, there were Armagh supporters near us and they were kicking so many wides first half and again at the second half. They were just shaking their heads in disbelief. They thought, surely this isn't going to be our day.
Well, first of all, I mean, it was an absorbing, it was an entertaining game. A lot more positive football in today's game and less stoppages and less free. So it was entertaining, it was enjoyable. I enjoyed it. Like you said, not a game for the purists, but to hell with it. I mean, you can't have your bread buttered on both sides. Armagh deserved winners, and the possession stakes, I suppose, if we saw a breakdown of the possession, you'd say 65-35%. The only reason that they weren't well in command was the 20 wides. But you've got to admire these. I never thought you'd see teams regaining All-Irelands, because I didn't think you'd get the hunger and determination 2 years in a row. I remember watching these guys at the All-Stars last year. Now, where normally every year fellas celebrating All-Stars would be well tanked up by 5 o'clock, most of these fellas were going to the gym out in the City West. That's how focused they were. They don't want to be remembered as a good team who wins 1 All-Ireland. They want to be remembered as a great team. Great teams win 2 All-Ireland. There's a great focus, there's a great composure, there's a great calmness, and there's a great never-say-die spirit. And deserved victors, but I mean, at the same time, the credit to Donegal. They fought with 14 men for most of that second half. They were in with a shout up to the last 2 minutes of the game. Great character, great spirit, great effort. It's been I think Brian McAniff has got them as far as they could have got, but it's been a good year for Donegal football as well.
It has, but they will be obviously very disappointed today, having said all of that. So then it's the Ulster champions against the All-Ireland champions in this year's All-Ireland final. Look at the statistics maybe from the first, or from that match, and just see exactly how they shape up for us. There's the scene at Croke Park, and there are the stats from the game. Final score then, Armagh 2 goals and 10 points, Donegal 1-9. But really, there was only a whisper between the two of them at the end of the day. Freeze then, 23 to Donegal, 16 to Armagh, 20 wides from Armagh. I mean, you have to say, on another day, had they scored half of those, they could have put this game away very early on indeed. And there was a total of 11 yellow cards. A lot of yellow cards, but it was a very tense match. And of course, there's 1 red card issued against Raymond Sweeney, Donegal's full-back.
We were beaten in semi-finals. I played in teams beaten in the semi-finals, and we went home with our tail between our legs, and we were told to come back, and we were a great team, and we'll be back. It's our turn now to shine and give us the credit for being the best province in the country. You know, we took a beating, shut them out. The rest of the people should just do the same.
You're almost better off now getting 3 or 4 points down at half-time, it seems. What would happen if you were to get 3 or 4 up against Tyrone in the All-Ireland final?
We'd look at that at half-time.
Jerome, it's all about half-time. I think they've said just about all. We'll try and get back to you with a few Donegal reactions a little later. Commiserations to Mr McHugh, and congratulations to Mr Burns.
Yeah, well done, Charlotte. You know, you've been great champions. Still there again, I have to say that, but gutted for you, Martin.
Yeah, disappointing, but the better team won the match. Now we look at the stats, Armagh had something like 20 wides, but it looked as if a stage they were going to actually throw away the game, Armagh, but they were on top and they couldn't get the scores, and you end up with a situation with the wrong player always ending up on the ball and poor wides. But I thought if I pick out one incident in the match that turned it was Francie Bellew when he got hurt. It wasn't a ball he was supposed to win, and he won it, and I think that was the ball. If you just want to pick out one incident, that ball made the difference. A man that goes in to get hurt in a situation, and they all know Francie Bellew, and I just thought that from there on, and the goal made the difference. Donegal having the player sent off, Raymond Sweeney, that meant they had in the sweeper in front, the high ball, and then Stephen McDonald got in behind. McCready, who had a great game on him, but he got in behind him and finished it really, really well. I would say Tony Blake thought he was going to turn on to it, actually turn on to his right foot, but he turned on to his left and he kept it down. They needed a goal at that stage. I don't think they were going to win at Armagh coming back with points, but looking forward to the final from my point of view, I hope it's a great day in Croke Park. You know, we have a good day out, players, supporters and everybody from Tyrone and Armagh. Let's come down and enjoy it, and let's show what Ulster football's about and have a good occasion for everybody.
Charles, Armagh did it again, the exact same way.
Yes, and if you look at the heroes which emerged, particularly in that second half, the amount of possession they got around the middle of the field, every ball that was kicked out, they ended up with it. And, you know, I was saying, my brother Fintan was here, and was just saying that, you know, if Armagh lose this game, they'll have lost it on about 80% of possession, and that is one way you carry into the final. Armagh have to win so much possession to actually win a match. But the heroes, you know, obviously Joe bringing on Paddy McKeever. Paddy McKeever made a big difference when he came on. He was able to run at that Donegal half-back line and set up attacks. He's a very robust player on the ball. Kieran McGeeney really came into his own in the second half, swept up a lot of ball, and of course their midfield for the amount of tackling and the amount of ball they caught in the second half. But I think, Jerome, it's a good way to get into an All-Ireland final. Armagh didn't play well today, a lot of improvement. Tyrone went in having played great against Fermanagh, great against Kerry, and Armagh know that they have a lot of work to do, and they'll do it. No complacency for this All-Ireland final.
Yeah, so hopefully that's that gone.
So you remember that, at that moment, you know, and the cauldron that was out there, you remembered the ghost?
Well, there's enough people have reminded me, you know, this past 12 months, so it's very hard to forget, but hopefully that's the end of it.
Tell us about that second half as you saw it, Oisín, because the football world loved every minute of it.
Yeah, well, you know, we suppose we needed a good game today. We didn't set out to try and entertain people, we tried to win the game, but at the end of the day, you know, it's an added bonus that it was a good game, and you know, we struggled for long periods in the match, and you know, eventually Stevie got us back into a brilliant goal, as he does, and you know, we went from strength to strength after that. When games are close, it tends to bring the best out in us.
Oisín, you were looking at the caption earlier on our screen here, 20 wides to 3 to Armagh. I think that surprised you a little bit, didn't it?
Well, it didn't. I think we had 12 at half time. I didn't realise, you know, we had as many in the second half, but I mean, you know, 20 wides gives us a lot of work to do in the next months. You know,
there were long periods of that game when it looked as if it might be Donegal.
Yeah, but we never believed that. You know, I don't think, you know, you've seen us panic. We kept trying to knock the ball over the bar. It didn't always happen for us, but you know, that's what we tried to do, and you know, we kept our heads down, and you know, as I say, we didn't panic, and that's what experience does for you.
And some clubmates of yours there really threw their bodies on the line in the second half. Francie Bellew especially, I know you're thinking of him.
Yeah, Francie, I was just, you know, opposite him whenever he went for that ball, and I can safely say there's not too many men would have went at it the way Francie went at it, but that's the nature of the man. And
yeah, and Tony McEntee, a colossal block down there, and John McEntee worked as hard as ever. But just one point on John Oisín, he sailed a bit close to the wind there. The pictures don't look good for him. It might have been a red, it was a yellow, but you know his style, don't you? Analyse it for us.
Well, that's the way he goes for balls, you know, he tends to have his, you know, have his arms up in the air, but I mean, you know, there's nothing malicious, and anybody who knows John Mack will know that there was nothing malicious in it, and you know, lucky enough the referee seen it that way too, so you know, that's the way it goes.
Congratulations to you again, Oisín. Some win, some penalty.
Thanks very much.
While it was some win, they never panicked. That's what we were saying here about them. They didn't panic. I mean, the tension and the excitement in the stadium might have been enormous, but it certainly didn't seem to be in the Armagh team.
No, well, we said at half-time that if there was any team that would come back from a difficult position, they wouldn't panic, because nothing seems to faze them. Armagh play exactly the same, whether they're 3 or 4 points behind or whether they're 4 or 5 points up. They just have this methodical style that has been used